Okay. D, if you can just roll for initiative, please.
Shit, where's my die?
Don't worry about it. You can just give a fake number, you know.
What die are we using?
Use a D20.
15.
15? Cool. 16. Anyway, so I go first. Welcome to RPN. My name is Ryan, and my turn is over. It's D's turn.
Our turn is... Well, hi, D. And it's, Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Did we order the die last time?
We have ordered the die, so we are back here in 18 hours, and we were, at the time, there was a Shivers check. Now, we're believing her, we're believing the novelty die maker, that she's just lucky in this doomed commercial area, and the only other person who around is Plaisance, who has said that everyone else has been doomed, and maybe just the idea is that she may have been forced out, or she may have forced everyone else out by going, this place is cursed. Ooh.
Talking about the bookstore, aren't we?
Yeah, that's Plaisance. However, as we were about to leave, and before we wrapped up episode 21, we noticed that the novelty dice maker has a Shivers check. Why is she so lucky where everyone else has failed? Now, she's been completely honest with us, so our mind has told us. But the check is still there, and it's a white check, but 28%, and really, do we really need to be throwing points into Shivers at this point of the game? You know, I mean, to be honest, we're 5 points off experience, we could. Shivers is at 5 anyway, and that's purely on our base and one item. So, you know, it is an option that we could look at, but for now, I mean, it's a white check. We could always roll it, gain a point, Shivers, come back.
Whatever.
But we could also ask her a question that might modify that. So, do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone. More or less. She adjusts the yellow scarf that covers her hair. Are you interested in anyone specific? Aha! Quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure. Oh my god, I didn't realise there were that many people that left.
Basically, just it would give us more fingers, so it should make our service check better for each one you ask.
Probably, yeah, actually, if we're learning about all the rest, yeah. So, just write down let's just go from top to bottom then. So, there used to be a hair salon here, right? Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word. Oh, so they don't. Right, so that's why no one's all walking around Revachol with Cloud Strife haircuts.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the barbers and the hairdressers.
Yeah. Oh, you want cornrows, right? No. What's that over there? Bye. I don't know why I went to cornrows.
That would be 11 June. If you like that doing.
Sorry. I could just say a random haircut style and you go, yeah, let's just put out locations in Manchester.
Well, 11 June there's one in 11 June that specialises in it.
So what specialises in the bowl cut?
Pretty much everyone going.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. Hey, a bit of experimenting every now and again isn't that bad. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customers should have been more open-minded. I guess it just wasn't the time yet. Yeah, I guess having an androgynous haircut in the 50s would be interesting. What happened to the gym? It wasn't merely a gym, it was Armitep's Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youths away from drugs and crime. Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club. Kuno. Her eyes narrow in the dim light. Who's Kuno? Oh, thank God you don't know who Kuno is.
He's a little ginger gremlin.
He's a little ginger gremlin, yeah. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies. I like that one. Yeah. Number 3. Indeed. Who is Kuno? Your guess is as good as mine, yeah, but then we'll go with that one. Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. She looks out the window, her face reflecting back in the dark. It's only 7:30. I think it will take more than a gym to help that kid. And who was Artemitep? A kind man from Zyzimisk. I heard he once had trouble with the law when he was younger. That's why he wanted to start the gym as his way of giving back. Judging from the kids I've met so far, it didn't really work, did it? Or, how did that community project work out? Either way concludes the conversation, so...
Up to you. Probably 4, actually, for me.
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rupture that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. Oh, Kuno.
Oh.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that. Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. What's up with the broken windows? Ah, this one's a mess, she sighs. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milius. Who would have guessed? What's a snuff milieu? I don't know, your encyclopedia, you tell me! Trust me, you don't want to know. And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Cool. Very cool about the debris. But what's a snuff milieu? Ah, leveled up.
Yep.
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Oh, I don't want to know anymore. Some people pay good money to get off on it. I should have realised we were being snuff.
Yep.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world. What does she mean? To get off on it? Electrochemistry, you should know better. Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Rosas. The lieutenant turns to you. This isn't our problem.
Okay. Thanks, game.
Fair enough. Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. Then she lets the fort go. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around. Oh, you mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Oh, I'm seeing a theme
right,
here.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme that this is actually just a crack den. But what drugs? Exactly. I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report. 5 experience. He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful. Even you can probably do better than that. Yeah, thanks, electrochemistry. Now if you just fuck off, please. You can almost see it. A small, sickly old man hunched behind his work desk, his pants stained with old piss, stuffing a sad, stiff, relegated raccoon dog. The entire scene looks tragic. I mean, I do feel a little sad.
I found creepy mannequins.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the poor raccoon. I mean, pissed drug man. You know, that's an entirely different story. I found creepy mannequins. Oh, there used to be a fashion atelier here, but I've forgotten what the head designer's name was. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. Insect rights activists? What in the name of... The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident? The activists shut down the biggest chitin suppliers, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. I know, but honestly, making clothes out of beetle wings is... I mean, what?
Well, in Ark, she throws out of armor. So it is a plausible thing.
True. They got what they deserved. Making clothes out of beetle wings is a terrible idea. At least add some spark to it. Most young designers just combine lace with leather and call it original. She shifts in a simple workwear shirt. As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving. Anything else? What's with the rotor blades and skis? Oh, they were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tallulah or Tiyomotori or Kashtkor or wherever he is. Well, that's illegal. Running off with the company's money like that. Why hasn't he been arrested? Or do we talk about the transmissions?
Ask about the transmissions.
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all new kinds of business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns. Her smile widens before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you. Men like that are a curse. The lieutenant is stern. Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess. They were just props. Why return to them? Maybe you can make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long. Okay. Yeah. Fortress Accident. The radio game studio. She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face. She liked them. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and again. Once I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
Liberal?
Yeah. What do you mean liberal? What happened? The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. What went wrong? Well, I did hear them talking at times. She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break. They seem to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. She sounds almost mocking when she says that. Well, from what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. This is awfully topical at the moment. Yeah, so we're recording Disco Elysium during the US election, which is still ongoing at this time. I mean, talk about precedent. Anyway. Yep. No, D, I'll give you this one for nothing. They are seriously having to consider an idea where the president squats in the White House. Anyway, in the end, they just didn't get it done. They just didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. She's right, showing up to work on time is important. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that, showing up to work at all is difficult. especially if you've been drinking.
Thank you, electrochemistry.
Yeah, thanks. That's too bad. I would have supported him. The project looked great. Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings. She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk. The result is 1. On a 20-sided die.
Oof. Ouch.
They critically fumbled.
Yep.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall. Okay. Well, there was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. You know, because that's something you just say out apropos of nothing. Oh boy, the fabled Revachol Ice City. You're in for a treat here. She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story. So you know those ice bears, right?
Yeah.
This place was owned by 2 guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas. Indeed. What were their other ideas?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighbourhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. Ah, Frit!
Yeah, basically.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Frit does the same thing.
Yep.
Oh no. I mean,
I was going to say
they
1.
expect 20 cents per hour. Yeah, I know a girl like that. She works in Fritz cashier and she's not particularly friendly. Oh, employing sulky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened in Revachol Ice City. And they already had the bear. She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear? The bear, she repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache.
It didn't work out.
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Oof.
Eventually, Revachol Ice City lost a price war to its rival, Glacé 500. Oh, that's Glace. Glace 500 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. I killed the bear. You did what? She rolls a swivel chair an inch closer to you, unsure whether you heard that right. I unplugged the... I love the options. I had to kill the bear to become the bear.
3.
Yeah, I unplugged the fridge to help Revachol Ice City cut their losses. Of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Okay.
Sounds cool. Scary, but cool. Megatherion.
Okay.
Megatherion, nods the dice maker. A mega wild beast. What's a mega wild beast? It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs mostly. Wise and noble beast, guiding you towards the land where the streets are paved with drugs. I don't do drugs. Kim's behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. You shouldn't do them, nods the dice maker. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, you now know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. She seems almost sad, finishing the story. The temperature has dropped on the cover in the night. You see frost on the windows. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time. Oh, the intercom. I found the one building's intercom. It's not working. Oh, right. She rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint line on the dusky skin. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion. The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then. Oh, yeah! Do you remember when we rung Slipstream and there was that weird...
Yep.
Yeah, so a strange thing happened when I tried calling a company called Slipstream SCA. Someone answered. She looks like she doesn't really believe you. It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was the Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Now, she said she was from Tricentennial Electrics. Tricentennial Electrics? There's a moment before she recognises the name. It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you? No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. We're either dealing with a professional actress or... No, it was something else. It was eerie. Narrow your eyes. Imagine, dear listener, that we are narrowing our eyes.
I'm trying to. I don't know. You choose.
Pranks can be eerie. She looks as if she's still convinced it's nothing to be worried about. The kids these days. She shakes her head. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorising us. No solidarity. Well, actually, the Slipstream SCA mystery might be a recording. I called later and got exactly the same message. Why would Slipstream SCA have a 100-years-old recording as their doorbell message? It doesn't make any sense. I'm still conceived it was nothing more than some elaborate prank. My money's on electrical anomaly. I've heard of these, especially in an old building like this. He looks around.
Okay.
Kim doesn't like ghosts, does he?
No.
So you're telling me the doorbell with the empty name card was yours? That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. I was wondering about the Whirling in Rags. Is it part of the same building complex? You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the Whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds. If the Whirling in Rags is part of the same building, then it's part of the doomed commercial area. The darkness of this place is there too. I saw the name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell. Right, it used to be a gaming arcade. That is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice? She raises a finger. Don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick-track, especially pinball. Agreed, the lieutenant chips in. Pinball is the worst.
Oof.
His disdain for pinball could not be clearer. Okay, a few more questions about the building. No, we've answered everything about the intercom. So, we didn't learn any more shivers. So, there is an option. We've got a skill point.
Do I try the shivers?
We could roll shivers now. If it fails, we could put a point into shivers and roll again.
Okay. Well, if you want.
Yeah, I mean, 28%. I mean, we've failed on higher odds. So surely we could succeed on lower.
Statistically, maybe. But no.
You feel warm. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm. Leave it at that.
Yep.
She has begun to idly clean one of her carving tools with a dirty kerchief. The tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp. Okay, so, shivers. Okay, so it goes from 28 to 42. Better odds.
Yep.
Makes me feel that if we got one more point in shivers, we'd pass it.
Yep.
Don't need to, because we passed it anyway. A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment it feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere. Well, this is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business hasn't failed. Well, because it's a good one? I don't know. Didn't we talk about this?
This is a reminder. Take it seriously.
Thanks, Alexa. So, yeah, didn't we talk about this? She asks as the wind continues to seep in through the cracks in the old chimney. It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area. What are you talking about? She says, shaking her head. My address is exactly the same. Rue de St. Ghislaine, 10. No. The old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into its new venture, its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city. No, this used to be a coal plant. Touch the safety curtains. You're in the chimney of another building. This doesn't make any sense. She looks around the makeshift nest that she has carved out for herself, bewildered. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? I'm just using logic. It's windy in here. You probably haven't properly sealed the chimney crown. You point above. She says, looking up. You're right. I should take a trip to the roof once the snow is gone. Does it mean that I'm safe from failure? Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
She sounds more like a harsh truth, but a truth nonetheless.
What, no one's really safe from the failure? She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face. What? You do know what this is? She raises her hand to reveal a piece of metal shining on her index finger. A lucky charm? Some kind of ward?
I use.
It's a mourning ring, she replies. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewellery shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Centre, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it to the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. Let's see, because it's real, I bet you didn't run this little jewellery shop from the protective depths of the chimney.
Okay.
Or what? Or just, why are you telling me this? That seems more normal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't just the jewellery shop either. I always thought it was just the world, that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me, what? She closes her eyes. That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Don't call it a dump. You made it nice and cosy here. Yeah, she stares out the window, not really hearing your words. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you wanted. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be. You can try again. Still, there's something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears, some alternative ending, or an entirely different world. She picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer. Well, we have learned a new thought for the thought cabinet.
Oh, what's this one called?
The precarious world.
Ooh.
Oh, temporary research bonus. All red checks fail.
Oof.
That seems like one that you'd just... Oh, that you couldn't really do any red checks for a bit. But surely there's something good about having that. But seems like the point of this game is victory. The absence of defeat on all fronts. Victory in business ventures and creative undertakings. Victory in love and over other people. Political victory. Ideological victory. Hell, even sexual victory. Definitely a lot of object-based victories too. Having things and not losing them. One problem though. Not a lot of victors in sight. Everyone's mostly losing. Why is that? And how do you not lose?
Interesting thought. We've got somewhere to be at 10.
Yeah, don't worry. We're still only at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So, the other thing I've realised with speaking about, like who were they? Dead body on the boardwalk. It's Billy Magin's apartment. It's not the woman in the thingy-mabop.
Okay.
Right, so we've got to get the hell out of here. We've got to report to Plaisance.
Plaisance.
Go around.
Follow Kim.
Yeah. Hey Kim, you know where we're going, don't you? Oh, we stopped. Did we update our physical instruments to try and lift this barbell?
I don't remember.
No, we didn't. Hey, look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. You're right, the weights may fall off. Better not touch it then. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? Should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Kim. Alright, let's go through the weird sealed door.
The door that freaking broke down. Even though we had a key.
Look, it was fun.
Okay.
Alright, you know what? What I also will do.
See?
Yeah, I will save in a second, but don't need the torch. So, in that half an hour, we've learned that the place kind of is cursed but isn't.
No, it's just basically we're talking to her because we've.
What have you found? And also,
Plaisance.
do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Yes, Plaisance. Anyway, shut up. I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she's a novelty dice maker. A novelty dice maker? Her eyes widen. Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. No, she's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman like you. She looks perplexed. I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse? Before you say anything, ask yourself, is this woman really able to withstand the truth? The narrative she's built herself. It does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you sought to just lie, sire? Lie. The source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this No.
No, we're not lying.
I don't want to say... there are still leads to be followed, like the strange radio computer thing? No, because that was nothing to do with...
No.
There's no curse. Too many inconsistencies. There is another entity more malignant pulling the strings in Martinez.
We'll see one.
The woman scoffs at you with an audible snort. Too many inconsistencies? What kind of talk is that? Well, first, you're one of those inconsistencies. Well, to be fair, if it's the doomed commercial area and every business that goes in there fails, why is she still standing? We know with Neha it's because of a technicality, it's because she lives in the roof of another building as opposed to... But, I'm not doing as well as it looks, I am. She grasps the pendant. I only have my 7 years' wars to thank for the protection they provide. As I said, she's a novelty dice maker. Her business has been up and running for a long time now. Yes, that's because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding on the curse. Red blotches appear on her skin. I see you've already fallen for her manipulation, detective. The investigation is over. I just hope you haven't made anything worse by going in there. She tucks the pendant away in her blouse and concludes, Thank you for nothing. Please buy some books or be on your way. Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now.
Oh dear.
I'm sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. He turns to you. Can we go now? The shop around you feels suddenly damp and saturated by the coastal air. The books are rotting. A great cold lives here. And there, too, 1,200 metres away on the urban coast, the dark shape of a church is reflected on the water, calling. And what if I want to buy a book? Goodness, were you already doing good browsing the shelves? Why'd you stop? She fiddles a pendant and waves her bony fingers directly at you. Don't you feel compelled? Go, go, get back there. The books await you. Well, what type of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't they? She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about books. Do you even know what books you have for sale? She scoffs. Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose. But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. Well, where do you learn about the important things then? The truth is available if you just know where to look. And you have to open and free your mind to understand. She nods at you cryptically.
Okay then.
Okay, see you later, lady.
See you, placeouts.
So, we got another skill point.
Yes.
Now, we succeeded in Shivers.
Hmm.
The risk. This is a big risk.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm thinking there's probably going to be a red check in 2 hours' time.
I'm gonna say do it.
Do it
tomorrow.
after the gun
Yeah.
check. Sounds right.
Yeah. Because we need.
So, reckon we work on getting another skill point then. If we have a look at tasks and the map and see what we do here. Maybe we were working on this the wrong way. Oh, the wash basin. Wait, hand-eye coordination's at full already, isn't it? Damn, it is. I think we just failed that. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. Well, we will not be shaving off our things. Motorix is probably the worst stuff we could be leveling up, actually, now that I think about it.
Hmm.
Right, back to the task, back to the map. There's a lot, now that I'm thinking of it, there are a lot of physical instrument tasks.
Hmm.
There is also a lot of
Blue.
conceptualization, a couple of logic, rhetoric. The cafeteria window is perception sight.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the other upgrades the longer we go through the game. Right, let's have a look at this. Perception is already full.
Mm-hmm.
So the other one was conceptualization, wasn't it? Understand creativity. See art in the world. Do it.
Okay.
Right, so we're at 40 minutes-ish. Minus a couple of audio cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to report a dead body.
Okay. Thought we did that already.
No. We need to go to the apartments. And speak to Billy Majone.
Yeah.
The stuff that we need to sort of wrap up, and I want to sort of stay in the area before we pop over to the fishing village at around 10.
Yeah, because we need to talk to. Yeah, we reported it to the RCM, but we haven't reported it to.
We haven't told. Yeah, we haven't told.
The bereavement bit.
Oh dear.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Bit bad.
Yes.
Right. The apartments were this way, right?
I think so.
Yeah, behind the fence with that.
You know, I see.
Yeah. Right, so room 20.
Please work your
honest,
stuff. Take
yeah.
breaks. Talk to strangers. Explore.
Yeah. Just to be clear, dear audience, we're probably not going to be turning in the gun storyline in this episode.
Nope.
Right, so room 20 is upstairs, yeah?
I think so.
Oh, hello. It isn't just a 5-pointed star, it's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The iconography of communism, in other words. Oh, that here. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mazov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century later, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure. Why is the star upside down? To symbolise the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it. What's the deal with the antlers? The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it. Why white? Because white is the colour of peace. What does it evoke in me? Gone. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain in dirty hallways. Wow, I got trapped into losing a morale.
Indeed.
Let's just save again. Because we gained some skill points last time we went to Kuno's dad's. Oh. Save for that. Master Investigator, you can't just keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? It is my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of this world. Attaboy. The world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them. Okay, we've got another fort. The Jamrock Shuffle. By now it's clear you like to look inside containers, you like to open doors and see what's behind them, maybe secrets, maybe more juicy containers. Let's be honest, you like all containers. Trash cans, utensil trays, manholes, coat pockets, secret containers left behind the Philippine kings that hold forbidden relics. Okay, you haven't come across one of those yet, but one day... Wait, is that why you're so hell-bent on opening containers? Do you think you'll find the Holy Scepter and the Orbe de Montagne? Okay. What have we got in here? Torch.
Magnesium.
Alcohol.
Oh. What?
Moss crawls in those bathroom tiles. Actual moss. Right, so. Do you remember Kuno's dad?
Mm-hmm.
A bundle of clothes heaps on the bed, a stained parka, some towels, and a duvet, some socks even. In the dark it looks like a nest. Someone underneath there is breathing, it doesn't give a shit that you're a cop. Stop your hand now or you're gonna die. It's not too late, no one's gonna blame me for backing out. You don't have to do this, just get out.
Oh.
Can always restart.
Yeah.
Your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. There's something alive underneath it.
Pull the blanket off.
You see a 60-year-old fat-headed man passed out from the large amount of alcohol and God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth. You don't have to take him down. He's already down. Okay, is this thing even alive? I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves. He points to a fleshy lump sticking out from the other end of the blanket. The limb seems to be twitching from time to time. And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name Maxdor on the sole. 3 toes are poking out of a hole. Maxdor is a gas company. He's wearing 3 socks from a gas company. They probably came with the bills.
Okay.
Do we have, hold on, let's just leave for a second. I want the maximum amount of perception we can get. If we can get any.
Maybe.
That's reaction speed, none of this is any good. No, that's interfacing. Oh well, you know what?
Snag it.
So we were supposed to be finishing this episode off by reporting a dead body. Now we're sat there trying to inspect an unconscious man. Is this Kuno's father we're seeing? Judging by the colour of his hair, I would say yes, it is. What, you saying all gingers are alike? Kim. The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window spills into his half-open eyes. There's still plenty to be scared of here, just not what you thought. I was expecting... Nope. Doesn't look like he's gonna fuck up anyone anytime soon. No, it really doesn't. The lieutenant tilts his head. This looks very hard to recover from. The man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but... The lieutenant thinks to himself, at least he won't be beating his son. A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake. Hold on, what happened to his eyes? Can't you tell? It happened to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight. Oh, this is serious damage. I'm still not sure he's not dead. Suddenly the man starts growling. 3 words manage to escape his mouth along with a strong stench of alcohol. Fucking... Look, he's trying to communicate. Maybe we should help him somehow? What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side.
Excellent form.
We could take him to Remedy or Saint Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. The almshouse would turn him down. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few... The lieutenant stops, listening to him. The pile of blankets grunts miserably. I don't want to whisper into his ear saying I took your amphetamine.
Nope.
So all that's left for today's episode, I think, at this point, is we roll this red check.
Okay.
The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets trying to gesticulate something. And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs, he says. He's trying to call you pigs. You're awake. He's awake! His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again. At least he got to say his piece.
Let's just leave him.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Kuno's dad. That's sort of slightly depressing, but we got shit to do. I thought it was going to take longer than that. I thought it was going to be some big thing. I wasn't expecting it to... Ooh. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Why is it... A plaster-cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kras Mazov. Kras Mazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and theoretical historian. He was the leading figure on the Grad side of the turn-of-the-century revolution, where he headed the 11-day movement. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism. Why does this tenant have a bust of Kras Mazov in their bedroom? The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we've broken into the apartment of a young communard. He looks around before mumbling himself. How fitting. Kras Mazov was a mass murderer. There's nothing cool about keeping his bust on your nightstand.
Oh.
He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. Oh, you don't say! The tenant, he leans closer to inspect the photos of revolutionaries on the wall. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. Some of you still keep the ideology going, it seems. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh, that's a locked door. Hello, cleaning lady.
Yep.
That's a door you feel that we could look at some point. Hey! 10 real. Or 10 cents. 80 real flat!
Woo!
Waves crashing in the darkness. A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. Let's rub our sides for warmth. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling to -20 degrees. Her face is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. The plan, faint pencil line on paper, depict the same place, but missing an eastern wall connects the room with the neighbouring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. Look around yourself. It's clean and empty. A new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty. Shiver. Supposed to lose another freaking morale. Right, we've got an hour and 20 minutes. That should be enough time to report a body and head over to a thing. So with that, we're going to get ourselves to door 20. And we're going to wrap this.
Okay then.
Well, this isn't door 20.
No.
No, indeed. But yeah, we will wrap this up. So, Dee, take it away.
Oh, if you like what you just witnessed, do the like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell and stuff.
Aye. Couldn't have said it better myself. So we're in this cold room, so we're just going to chill here for the night. So we will see you next week. Or next time.
Hopefully we report the body and everything will be hardcore.
God damn it, egghead.
Well,
See you later, everyone.
That could be cool, no?
No, never.